Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the possibility of Lando Norris beating Max Verstappen to the 2024 F1 Drivers' Championship after his statement win at the Singapore GP. We'll break it all down in this video, along with the thrilling results of the Singapore Grand Prix, Daniel Ricciardo's last race, and the crucial impact of stealing the fastest lap. Plus, we'll talk about how the top 4 drivers still have a shot at the title. So, let's jump right in. Singapore GP result and its impact. The 2024 Singapore Grand Prix really shook things up in the F1 world. Lando Norris took the victory, closing the points gap on Max Verstappen to 52 points. This result has turned what still looked like a runway season for Max into a nail-biter of a championship. Oscar Piastri's rise from 5th to 3rd, paired with a low points finish for Sergio Perez, allowed McLaren to pull further ahead of Red Bull in the constructors' standings. Piastri executed a brilliant strategy by staying out longer in the first stint, which gave him fresher tires to overtake Mercedes' Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc, also opting for a late stop, aimed to replicate Piastri's moves but fell short, passing Hamilton but finishing behind Russell. Ferrari's Carlos Sainz managed to recover from a poor qualifying session to finish 7th, while Fernando Alonso secured 8th for Aston Martin. Nico Hülkenberg gave Haas something to cheer about with a 9th-place finish, and a disappointing weekend for Perez saw him complete the top 10 after being eliminated in Q2. Singapore's street circuit was the perfect battleground for Lando to shine, and now fans are buzzing. Could this be the start of his final push for the title? The win was massive for Lando and McLaren, but it wasn't just about the victory. Max Verstappen, who has been dominant throughout the season, has been on the back foot with the RB20 bailing on him since the Round 11 race at Austria. Lando Norris, who has won twice in the last 9 events, now needs to get the better of Verstappen in the last 6 races of the season to win the championship. What does Lando Norris need to do to win the 2024 title? Out of the 6 remaining rounds, 2 races, Brazil and Qatar, are sprint weekends. This in turn allows for a maximum of 172 points up for grabs, which includes the fastest lap bonus point. Subsequently, Verstappen's points lead puts him in a great position against Norris. If Lando Norris manages to win the last 6 races, including the sprints as well as getting the fastest lap, he would score 172 points. However, if Max Verstappen manages to finish 2nd in all races and the 2 sprints, it would be enough for the Dutch driver to bring home his 4th F1 championship in a row. This puts Norris in much more pressure than the reigning world champion. The McLaren star not only needs to do his best at every round of the season, but hope that Verstappen has a few poor stints in between. A single DNF for Max Verstappen can make Lando Norris the favorite for the F1 title. On the other hand, the Briton cannot afford any mistakes in the remaining 6 races. Daniel Ricciardo saved Max Verstappen title hopes on his last race. Let's take a moment to talk about Daniel Ricciardo. Singapore marked what could be his final race in F1. V-Carb is reportedly set to announce his exit from the team, with Liam Lawson taking over the Red Bull Junior team seat, marking an end to the Aussie's career that can only be termed as wasted potential. While his final race was almost a huge disappointment, he made a valuable contribution towards his ex-teammate Verstappen's championship chase. Norris snatched the fastest lap late in the race, robbing Verstappen of that valuable extra point. In a championship battle that could go down to the wire, that single point could be a game-changer. But Ricciardo came to the Dutchman's rescue, stealing the fastest lap points from him and making sure that Max had the advantage going into the last 6 races. Ironically, Danny Ric was teammates with Lando at McLaren as well. Oscar Piastri and Charles Leclerc are in the championship fight as well. Now, while we focused a lot on Max and Lando, we can't forget about the other top contenders in the 2024 season. The top 4 drivers, Verstappen, Norris, Charles Leclerc, and Oscar Piastri, are all still mathematically in the hunt for the title. Charles Leclerc has had a bit of an up-and-down season, but remains a threat with Ferrari's improved pace. He is currently P3 in the table with 245 points in his name, just 86 off from Max and 34 off from Lando. He can still win if the championship leaders mess up on the upcoming events. Oscar is in a similar position, quietly racking up points with McLaren. He is just 8 points behind Leclerc and can easily win the championship, taking advantage of potential mistakes from the Norris-Verstappen duo. It's still anyone's game, especially if Verstappen falters. But of course, Max's biggest threat right now is Lando Norris. That Singapore GP win has really thrown a wrench in the championship race. Lando Norris actually beating Max Verstappen and taking the 2024 Drivers' Championship is a tough task, but the Singapore Grand Prix proved that anything is possible in Formula One. With key moments like stealing the fastest lap, Daniel Ricciardo's emotional farewell, and the top 4 drivers still in the hunt, the rest of this season is shaping up to be one for the ages. Let me know in the comments what you think. Can Lando pull off the upset, or will Max regain his dominance? Make sure to like and subscribe for more F1 updates, and I'll see you in the next video.